Sometimes your body might betray you, and you may have so much to lose. But if you pay attention and you just take some action, you realize it's all in your mind. It's in your mind, so mind your health. It's in your mind, so mind your health. Your physical is essential, but your mind is super special. So mind your health.
Welcome to Mind Your Health, where there is no health without emotional health. My name is Leslie Ann Lyons, and I am your host for this evening. I'm so glad that you have joined us, and I want you to just go ahead and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel, that's EJC. Go ahead and press that little red button, and then you'll see a bell come up. You want to click on that as well so that you're notified every time we go live with our programs here. And just take this opportunity as well to share the link to this episode with your friends and family who I am so certain will benefit from this program. But before we go any further, we just want to read our text and we want to do our prayer for today. Our text comes from 2 Timothy 2, verse 15, and it says, "Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth." Let us pray. Dear Lord and our Father, we come to you right now thanking you for love and your mercy, thanking you for life and the opportunity to work for you. I pray that as we go throughout this episode that someone will be blessed at the end of it and that someone will be edified and inspired to continue working for you. Be with us here, and I pray that we will say what we need to say. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, so this evening, we are having, I want to say, a musical program. And you're probably wondering, okay, so what's going to make it musical? Well, I have a group here with me, and they are called Emeralds. Can we just have a shot of these young men? Look at that. Look at these young men. Just a handsome set of young men who are ministering for God, and they are called Emeralds. And at this time, I'm going to ask them to go ahead and introduce themselves. I'm going to start on my extreme left. You're going to tell us your name, and you're going to share with us the part that you sing in the group. Starting with my extreme left.
I was just waiting on a shot of me to come up here. But, all right, my name is... Where am I? Yes, right there. My name is Mario Lewis, and I sing basically everything. Yeah.
All right. Next we have...
Hi guys, my name is Travis Francis. I'm the leader of the Emeralds. I sing first and basically everything but bass. I'm trying to do that, but time will tell.
Right. Okay. Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Chadwick Brown, and I find myself singing first tenor mostly, so that's my role basically.
All right, and next to you we have...
Good evening, everyone. I'm Miguel Britton, and I specialize in baritone.
Okay. Yes. And then we have...
Good evening, everyone.
I don't think... Pause. I don't think we really have to, you don't have to tell us what you sing. I don't think you really have to... But, I mean, you can go ahead anyway. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Shane Cole. The part that I sing is bass.
I love the pause there, because everybody knew what parts he sang the moment he started talking. So we're talking to Emeralds this evening, and I want to ask you guys, before we really get into the meat of the matter, to tell us about the group. I'm not sure who's going to tell us, but tell us about the group, how you guys started, how you came to be, how did you get to the point that you are now, because I'm sure there have been transformations. Anybody who wants to take that can just go right ahead.
Well, there are a lot of things that has happened since the group started. Well, the group started out with myself and a former member called Travis. Mm-hmm. At the time it was... Yes?
So not this Travis?
No, not Travis.
Okay.
A former member of the group. It was originally a duet. So one day after divine service, we were having a little chat, and he started a song afterwards. And when he started song, I started harmonizing with him. And that was the first time I'm harmonizing with somebody.
Okay.
And I was amazed. And a church sister was passing by and she said, "Whoa, you guys need to sing in AY service." And that happened. And then we decided that, we wanted to include other young men into the ministry. And so Shane came along, yes, BC, and Maru.
So, sorry to cut you. Did Shane come before the other members? So it was you, the Travis, and then Shane?
Well, Javon came
Okay,
first.
I asked that question because I'm just wondering if you guys had like a tenor and
Yes.
then a
Javon
bass.
was the first tenor.
Just trying to work out
So we had
parts.
Javon, and then we had Mario. Shane, would you like to add anything?
Not this one.
And it's not this Mario.
Not this Mario.
Well, okay, all right.
Yeah, so I was the last member that joined the group.
Okay.
But at first, I didn't want it to, I wasn't really interested in the singing thing. But
I was the
because-
motivating factor.
Yes, Miguel encouraged me. And one day I just say, I just try it out and see what happened. And here am I now, singing with these
Amen.
talented young men.
All right. So that's how Emerald started, with 2 into what we have now as 5, with a different Travis and a different Mario. I just had to point that out. All right. So I want to know from each of you, what is the reason that singing became your ministry? Because Shane just mentioned that he wasn't really interested in the singing thing. I want to know from the rest of you, whether you were interested initially or not, or maybe you were probably singing prior to the group, why did you choose singing as your ministry? I want to hear from all of you. So whoever wants to start can just go right ahead. Everyone looks at Mario, so I'm just going to go with Mario. All right, go right ahead, Mario.
All right. If I'm going to be totally honest, singing for me at first was always about enjoyment and comfort, right? That's just singing. But, singing becomes a ministry when you start impacting others by the singing.
Right.
But then for me, I think the ministry aspect of it came about a little later by virtue of maturity in it. But at first it was always about the clout and the popularity that was affixed to it.
Right.
And so maturity would have given me room to realize that it is something bigger than me, When you realize what's at stake, when you realize that there are persons out there who sometimes just come to church for just the music, to stop them from doing something dangerous, committing suicide, or,
Right.
stop them in a sinful track that they're on a sinful track that they're on. So the singing ministry for me is a blessing. So I'm in it for the blessing of it. Yeah.
All right. Who wants? Travis, go right ahead.
Well, for me, if you guys have tuned into previous...
Yes.
Yeah.
Travis was on a previous Mind Your Health. So was Mario.
Yeah. I would have stated that I did try other means of ministry. I would like to say I chose singing, but I feel like singing chose me. Because, I tried preaching. And not that I was bad at it, I just didn't feel as fulfilled as I do when I sing. I feel like I reach a greater audience. I feel like I impact person's heart more.
Okay.
I feel like I'm doing the right thing. It just feels right to me. So I would say singing really chose me. And I can say, unlike Mario, who, he said it was for clout first and, popularity and stuff, I grew up in the ministry. The popularity and the clout came after, like in my teenage years,
okay.
So I was always a humble minister from a child coming up. And then, I had to transition between the popularity and stuff, and then maturity kicked in again, and I'm saying, this is a ministry, I have to be focusing on that. So that's basically for me as relates to ministering.
All right. I guess we're going in order. So Chadwick, I think you're up next.
So basically, I could say that I was born into singing, born into music, because my family, I grew up singing from a very tender age. The first time I ever sang was with my big sister. We were there and we were just messing around, and she heard me well at one note, and she's like, "Oh, you can sing." But basically, it's a family of singing, so it was just time before it happened. So I grew up singing from a tender age until now. I sang children's choir. I had a group before. I think we sang here once or twice before. Of course, I sing with my family, with my sisters, Shelly and Ioana. So singing has been a part of me since birth. I'm going to say since birth.
Okay.
So it has become my main form of ministry, because I was like Travis. I tried preaching also, but I'm a very shy person. So I don't think I was really suitable for that, the preaching. But I sought other ways to preach, which was through music, through the ministry,
Right.
which is what I am here doing today. I would like to thank God for that also.
Amen. Amen. All right. Let's hear from you.
Well, since I was very young, I enjoyed listening to music. I enjoyed singing. Yes. So, art, unlike Chad, I'm not from a very musical background. My church just had very few singers, and most of them didn't know harmony. So there was this one female who, each time she sings on the praise team, she would do a low tenor. She had a low tone of voice, and I always admired that note. Because it was just different. Everybody was singing unison, and then she came in with the harmony, the tenor.
Right.
And it fascinated me. And I think without even practicing it, it's like I was practicing it in my head each time she sang. And that's how when Travis started singing, I started harmonizing out of the blues. And I think that was a gift from God. I'm a good listener when it comes down to music. In terms of the key of the songs, sometimes without even using a keyboard, I can just remember the key.
Yes.
So make all that relative pitch.
Yeah,
Right.
he's the only one in the group like that. Yeah.
Nice.
As much as Chad is from a musical background, he doesn't have that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yes, I have relative pitch. Well, for me, I'm not very talkative. I'm a man of few words. So preaching was just never my
So it
thing.
wasn't gonna be an option.
It was going to be an option. So it had to be singing. And I realized that singing blesses a lot of people. I remember the group singing somewhere, and a man came to us after, and he was saying that his nephew died a few months ago, and the song that we sang, It's Not Over Now, he said that was his nephew's favorite song, and it really touched him, and he came with tears in his eyes.
Right.
And was saying that the song was really a blessing. And I remember going to another church in St. Anne's Bay. And after we sang It's Not Over Now, the person came and said, "No, that I didn't like that song until I heard Emerald sing it."
Oh wow.
And I was touched. I was moved, and I give God thanks.
Sounds to me like what drives your ministry is impacting others.
Right.
The impact it has on others.
Definitely.
Interesting. Shane, let's hear from you. From a person who was not interested in this singing thing. I think I could be wrong in my phrasing, but that kind of sounds like what he said. Like I wasn't interested in this singing thing. Now here you are singing bass with this group. What happened? Why did you choose to do it as a ministry?
Well, Miguel here played a very important factor in that. 'Cause, yes, I'm a very shy person, as Miguel.
Okay.
We are family, we are cousins, so maybe that's why. Yeah, so growing up with Miguel, he's a person that always liked to sing. Everywhere you go, he does singing, and it kind of influenced me a certain way. Yeah, so when I joined the group now, I started listening to a cappella songs, and the words of the songs does captivate me. Yeah, so that I think that is the next driving factor.
The message.
Yeah, the message of the songs. So, yeah, that's basically it.
All right. Okay. So I'm sure I mentioned at the beginning that this would be a musical program, right? And it's going to be a musical program because we have a group of singers, right? So why not hear them sing? Is that right? Yeah. So a couple episodes ago, we had a musical program. Okay, it wasn't a couple episodes ago. It was probably a little while back. We had a musical program, and I mentioned some of the benefits of music, and I think we were rebroadcasted just a couple weeks ago. Now, if you're watching and you are wondering about some of the effects that music can have, we're about to witness it. So these young men are now going to sing for us the first song in this entire episode. So gentlemen, over to you. Take it away.
How can I truly show that I love you? How can I truly say how I need you? How can I really share what I'm feeling? Can I reveal my heart as I'm kneeling? How can I truly show that I love you? How can I truly say how I need you? How can I really share what I'm feeling? Can I reveal my heart as I am kneeling? How can I ever learn your compassion? Covered and clothed with Christ for my fashion. Turning aside, I feel godly sorrows. You confidently secure my tomorrow. How can I truly show that I love you? How can I truly say how I need you? How can I really share what I'm feeling? Can I reveal my heart as I am kneeling? How can I truly show I love you? How can I truly say? How can I say I need you? How can I really share? I'm feeling. How can I truly say?
Wow. Wow. How can I truly show that I love you? That was so nice. I wish you guys were here with us in the studio to hear all the harmonies that were coming from these young men and the bass that was coming from the person who wasn't really sure how he felt about the singing thing. Crazy to me, if you ask. But that was really incredible. Thank you guys so much for that song. And I'm sure there's so many people who are watching right now who are like, I remember when I heard those guys sing. Actually, funny story. I heard Emerald sing when I was much younger, like way younger. And I didn't remember that they were the same Emeralds. Until recently, I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait, but that guy was in the group, and, same Same group. And so they've traveled all of Jamaica, if I may. Have you guys?
Well, most of
Most of
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
I know, yeah.
Can you think of any parish you haven't been to? You've been to all the parishes. So safe to say they're a national group. National gospel group. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We might not have done it now as this group, but the group in and of itself
has traveled.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask, because you guys are known. People know who you are, right? as a group that is known, how do you guys deal with the kind of pressure that comes from that kind of popularity? Mario and Travis kind of mentioned it, but how do you deal with the kind of pressure that's going to be coming from the popularity that you receive?
I'm not popular.
You're not popular?
No, I'm not popular.
That's what you think? Right, because I knew Mario before I knew Mario. So I'm not sure what he's saying.
I want to say, basically, what I want to say is I don't think that there is anything to deal with where that is concerned.
Okay.
Because if it is that I am known by virtue of my talent, right, I'm not expecting that I am being seen. You get what I'm saying? I'm expecting that whatever it is that I have to say in singing, the message that I have to bring across, that's what persons are pondering on. So that puts me in a mindset where I don't see myself as popular. So there is no pressure, to deal with. That's just how I feel.
Interesting. Yeah. What about the rest of you guys?
I mean, as far as popularity goes, I would say I'm known. I'm known. And it might not be for singing because, I'm in Pathfinder and stuff like that. That allows me to travel, drum corps.
Right.
So I'm really known. As far as the singing aspect of the popularity goes, though, that was new. That was something to handle, because honestly, you'd want to safely say that we don't have to deal with fans, right? But the reality of the situation is, if you sing and you sound good, you're gonna attract people who appreciate what you do, and when you go to certain places, you're gonna come upon certain persons. As you can see, it's an all-male group, so of course we attract a lot of females, and as young men, it can get to our heads. Because I remember when I just joined the group, they had to be saying, Travis, focus. All right? Focus. Because honestly, it felt good. It felt good to go to the different churches and oh my gosh, yeah. So that felt good, but
sadly, I don't know what that's like.
We had to come to the realization that, hey, we're here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's for ministry. So, quickly outgrew that. So it wasn't really something that I had to deal with for long periods. What I did find, though, which I found very, very strange, I remember I was walking on the road one day, coming from work, minding my own business. I was heading to practice. And this lady, she stopped me, she tugged me.
Right.
And she was like, "You sing in Emeralds?" And I'm like, yeah. And this is not a lady that looks like she's Adventist or she even goes to church.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. She's like, I saw your video because we did the Perfect Fan NSYNC. I don't know who sings the song, but we did a cover of a song and it was on YouTube. And she was like, I was searching for the song and I saw your group and I saw you and you guys sounded so nice. I was like, oh, okay, this is new. So that was the weirdest thing as popularity goes for me.
All right. You look like you want to answer, Travis.
Yes. As opposed to Travis, I'm relatively new to the group. I'm the newest member of the group. Okay. So since I joined the group, I've realized that they had been repurposed. So as far as popularity was concerned, it was not something, or it is not yet something that I have faced an issue with. I have sang different places, but I would not see myself as known or popular, so it hasn't been a struggle or a problem for me.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, my mentality is that I am spreading the message. I am spreading the word, hoping to win souls, win hearts for God, to preach to someone through music. And that's basically how I see it. I don't look at the appearance I put up. Of course, people from time to time will say, hey, I saw you there. You sounded lovely. But I don't see it as popular. I see it as them seeing the message, hearing the message, and receiving it.
Interesting. Miguel, you wanted to say something?
Yes, indeed. Well, for me, whenever we minister at various places, after we finish minister, I would be like one of the first persons to get off the stage because I'm very shy.
Right.
Yes, and don't like the attention. So I'm very humble from day one. So the popularity doesn't affect me, even though a lot of times persons will be like, oh, I saw you on my TV, and so forth. I would thank them and I would thank God because God is the one who allowed me to be seen spreading His word.
Right.
You know, I was considered the face of the group. I don't know if the arrival of Travis has changed that. Yes, but it hasn't affected me.
Okay. So, Shane, you wanted to add anything? No? So everybody's kind of on the same page then. It seems to me that everybody's like, well, yeah, okay, some of us are known. It's not that deep. I like that though, because sometimes we see where people start doing things and they're seen and they become known and the popularity gets to their head. Mario, you want to say something right there?
Yeah, and another thing is humility. That's another aspect of it, because when persons come to you and tell you that, oh, I saw you here, or you guys sang nicely at a concert, or
right,
they tend to try to attribute all the praise to you. But then you're there and you're saying, well, I'm just another humble servant like yourself. Your talents may be preaching or Bible work or
right,
but ours is singing. So we're all playing our part to help to spread God's words across, and so we're just doing our part. Yeah.
Okay, that's
so it's
good.
Something to be humbled by.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. I want to ask though. In a past episode, we were looking at pastors' kids, right? Good. Somebody here is affected by that. We were looking at pastors' kids, and one of the things that they were saying is that because we are known, or because we're known as this thing, people expect certain things from us, right? Is that same expectation, or is it a different expectation? Or are there expectations that are placed on you guys as you are known or not as well known in the singing group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, being Adventist alone brings expectations.
Fair.
Because nobody knows what you're not supposed to do more than non-Adventists. So you better not let them catch you doing what you're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
So can you imagine being a minister of the gospel? It's like one of these lights.
Right, like a spotlight.
Always on you.
Everything else is dark, it's just you.
Always on you. And sometimes it can feel like you're not allowed to be yourself. You're always cautious of what you're doing. Like, it's like I don't want to say a puppet, but it sometimes will feel that way because you want to say certain things or make certain jokes, but you can't really say, you know? So it's kind of really hard as a minister sometimes. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we're supposed to be living Christ-like lives. So, hopefully, it won't be that hard in time to come,
Okay. Mario?
Yes, there are expectations of us.
Okay.
I can remember an experience. We went to a church. I won't call the name of the church. And they were so keen on our hairstyles.
Mercy. Lord.
And yeah. And we got there to sing in the the Sabbath school, I think. And we were held outside And we're not made to sing until such person's hair
Call
was
name.
fixed.
You can call my name.
Until
You
Travis,
can call my name. So
until Travis's hairstyle was fixed. And, you know,
let me just interject a bit there.
All right.
So I'm sure you guys can see my hair right now. It's not like cut low like Mario's own, but it was way taller.
Times passed, right?
It was way taller. In times
way
past,
taller,
you know.
yeah.
It was almost a bit, getting long, not tall. So, yeah, we got to the church, and I mean, I had a function the evening for work. So, I did my due for the work function.
Right.
So when I got there, I was like, I'm not pull out my ear. Innit? So we were outside waiting for the ladies to say, come inside. Lo and behold, our friend who goes to the church came, and she was like, yeah, your hair is going to be a problem. So I was out there, and the guys were looking at me like, so
what you going to do?
what you going to do?
We have to sing.
I mean, I spent time to do my hair, so what you not do? So, it was a battle out there. I mean, at the end of the day, I had to choose ministry. I had to choose ministry. And I mean,
Yes.
what the guys, this is why I'm so much appreciative of these guys. They pitched in to help me to pull out my hair so that I could sing. And that was a sight to behold.
Yeah.
But it's just this, it was amazing.
That kind of segues. Oh, you wanted to say something, Chadwick?
I just wanted to add that since I've joined the group, as I've mentioned earlier, I've seen the change within them. So I haven't faced any issue where that's concerned as yet. But however, Travis mentioned pressure being on us as ministers, not just being ministers, but being Seventh-day Adventists in general. I'm a university student. Whenever I go to school, I have friends, of course. So sometime we might be walking, they're playing music, and I have to be conscious of the fact that I don't know who I'm passing. Someone might have seen me ministering with the guys or by myself, and they might know who I am, and the characteristics they might have had in mind about me, the personality, is something that would be displayed differently. So I have to be aware of my surroundings at all times, even in my community. I was walking one day, and this man called to me. He called me musician. This man doesn't go to church. I've never seen this man at church. So I'm like, how would he know that? But it goes to show that people know you, and they know that you're a Seventh-day Adventist, you're a minister. So you're inevitably, I don't want to say forced, but you have the responsibility to uphold godly characteristics and portray a godly personality to all those you meet, everywhere, every day. So it's not really a burden, but sometimes it can be quite difficult as you, even though we're supposed to be like that all the time.
Right.
But, sometimes the very simple things you can't do. And sometimes it's challenging, and you're considering, hey, why me? Why am I have to do this? But then you remember that at the end of the day, the ministry is what is most important. To minister to those so that we may win souls for the second coming of Jesus.
Amen. I heard something being mentioned, and that kind of segues me into another question I have for you guys. And Travis, I'm throwing this one at you first. I want everyone to kind of answer this, but I'm throwing this one at you first. How do you handle the struggle? Because it's clearly, from what you guys have said, it is a struggle between being yourself and being who the church expects you to be. I genuinely want to know what that's like, because I'm sure, as we said, there are expectations from the church as a body, but then there's also the idea of who you want to be, and maybe who Christ is even leading you to be. So I want to know how you balance or how you deal with that struggle of being yourself and possibly being who the church wants you to be. Throwing this one at you first, Travis.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at
No
all.
pressure at all. For me, I don't know about the other guys, but I struggle. I've been struggling with this because anybody who knows me knows I'm a very vibrant person, right? And especially as an Adventist, we're not necessarily the loud and boisterous set of people, right? Certain things that I'd want to do, I'm not allowed to do. You know, I'm a lover of music from day one. I love my culture.
Right.
And it's sad to say my culture does not really
Love you.
I won't say evidence not loving me because it just doesn't balance out with my spiritual life. Because as Jamaicans, you know, our culture, as it relates to music, is reggae and dancehall. And
Right.
yeah, a.k.a. to us Adventists, boogie yaga.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not even going to lie. This is a program where we're being very real.
Yes.
Leslie, the boogie yaga sometimes just gets me.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a struggle to really say, yo, Travis, you love this, but at the end of the day, where do you want to be? The boogie yaga is not going to be in heaven.
Yeah.
And it's not there. I can't take it there with me. So at some point in life, I had to say, yo, you know, you need to just do the right. It's not, you know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what you're supposed to do. So, and I'm saying, I'm not going to tell anybody that, hey, you know, I've overcome this. I have not.
Right. Trying youth.
I'm trying. And I mean, praying has helped me a lot because I remember once you couldn't get me listed to anything called dancehall. And that took a lot of prayer. So for young people out there, I know we're not really prayer warriors or such, and we sometimes feel like we've gotten so far that God no longer listens to us. And, you know, it's minimal. You know, do I really need to pray about this? Pray about it.
Yeah.
Pray about it. Whatever the struggle is, pray about it. Because, you know, I mean, a lot of people will see me, you know, and say, oh, yeah, Travis, him do this and him do that. But they don't know where I was before.
Right, right.
They don't know where I'm coming from and where I am now spiritually. Right? So it's still a battle that I'm fighting, but, you know, I'm still praying about it, and I hope that people are out there praying for me so that, you know, it won't be that much of a struggle.
You said something there that kind of leads me to a point I want to make, but I'll wait till everybody has responded to that question before I say anything. Chadwick, you look like you're ready to answer that question. No, you weren't quite ready yet?
No,
That's fine.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
It's going to probably sound like I'm copying Travis, but it just goes to show the similarities we have as young men, as young ministers, as young Seventh-day Adventists. I'm a lover of music also. If I'm doing the dishes, I can't do the dishes without music. If I'm working, I can't do anything without music.
Yes.
So I have different playlists for different occasions. I love old music, 90s, 80s, old stuff. But those aren't giving praises to God. And even though I find myself listening to them sometimes, you know, it gives me, I would like to say, energy. Sometimes, you know, the groove. But I have to remember at the end of the day that I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. Right. And it might not be as bad as it sounds, which I really don't see some problems with it, like, you know, love music and all. But at the end of the day, I have to remember my purpose and what I should be doing as a Seventh-day Adventist. Also, a struggle as a young man I'm single, by the way, but
for all the young ladies who were watching and wondering, now you know.
So yes, the struggle is being a young man, a young Christian. Sorry. There are times when you think to yourself, "Hey, I'm getting old. I'm 22 years old. I might not look it, or might, but I'm 22. I'm thinking, hey, maybe it's time for a wife, or maybe a girlfriend at least." But then there are things that comes with, I want to call it relationships. And it is very hard to resist some of these temptations, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
But it is, we have to purpose our minds that relationships, females, them not runway.
That's right.
And one day, we will all have a chance to get married, hopefully, before the Lord comes, and have a life, have a family. So, one step at a time, and remember our purpose as ministers. As for me personally, it has been struggling spiritual-wise with my spirituality. Spirituality,
yeah.
Yes. I find myself slacking a lot sometimes, not even praying. When I wake up, the first thing I do is Instagram. Before I go to my bed, YouTube. And it has been a constant struggle over the years, ever since, especially since I went to university. And it has been something I've been trying to work on. And I've seen cases where God has given me signs that, hey, you need to do better. I've had occasions where I'll be like, okay, Jesus, I have an exam. I need help. Please help me. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And I'm like, Jesus, you're not listening to me. But then I have to remember that constant prayer and, reading my Bible and stuff like that is what will help me in the long run. So I have to purpose myself to remember that, okay, Chad, you need to get back on track with God. I remember getting baptized. I made up my mind that God, after I come out of the pool, after I come out of the water, I'm not sin again.
Right.
I'm not do nothing bad.
Yeah.
But over the years, we've slipped up, I've made mistakes. But I'm trying to get back to the way I used to be.
Purpose. You mentioned the word purpose a lot of times, and I think from what I'm hearing from you, that's what it comes down to for you, purpose. The question, just to remind the rest of you as you answer, is how are you dealing with the struggle between being who you are, who you want to be yourself, and the expectations that are coming from others who are seeing you in ministry? Mario, you want to go ahead and take that one?
All right. I have a very simple response to that. What you want to be, what you want yourself to be, may be different most times from what other persons expect you to be. But the truth is, what is your standard? Right? The standard is Jesus. Jesus is the template for who you're supposed to be.
Right.
So who you want to be may not be sometimes who Jesus intends for you to be. And what persons expect you to be may not be what the standard that Jesus sets for us to be is.
Right.
And so it's for me, it doesn't boil down to to how I am perceived in the eyes of individuals on the outside. For me, it's following the template that Jesus set for us while he was down here. And so the Bible is my guide. My simple response.
All right. I love that answer. Simple, as you said, but really profound. And I wanna take a break right here from all the chatter, because as we said, it's going to be a musical situation, right? And so I'm going to ask the guys right now to get ready to give us that next song. We've been talking so far, and I've been really touched by what they've been saying. They're ministers, and they've spoken about, even the situation where they went to the church, and Travis had to make the decision to pull out his hair to continue ministry. I don't know if you realize how big that is, but it's a pretty big deal,
You find yourself at that point being selfless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's no longer about you.
That's what it is. It's learning that it's not about you and it's to serve the people. And so we're going to hear a little bit more of their service right now as these young men go right ahead and give us the next item of music.
When they're not around, of all the things to do to a friend, you hurt them by your tongue. Relationships will fatally end without a knife or gun. Wait until you're back behind them, then you put them down. How could you be talking about them when they're not around? not helping their defense. Listening, we all should fear it. Listening is wrong. If there were no one to hear it could not go on. Don't be talking about friends when they're not around. Don't be cutting their hearts and putting them down. Don't be tempting the Lord and making them frown. Don't be talking about friends when they're not around. When they're not around. Too many friendships have been broken. They've been broken by just a simple, careless word spoken. Don't be talking about friends when they're not around. Don't be cutting their hearts and putting them down. Don't be tempting the Lord and making him frown. Don't be talking about friends when they're not around. When they're not around. When they're not around.
Proverbs 16 verse 28 says, a perverse man stirs up dissension and gossip separates friends. It's a very powerful message in that text. You know, Proverbs is very practical. Proverbs gives us life lessons, and we observe that that's something among us as young people. And the Emeralds, we're saying to you guys today, don't separate your friendships by gossip. Don't stir up dissension among yourselves. God is not all about confusion and chaos.
When they're not around. Don't be talking about cutting down or putting down friends. Let's just treat them more like friends. When they're not around. Don't be saying a lot of things. Overlook the hurt it brings. Don't be talking about your friends. When they're not around. Don't be talking about friends. Don't be talking about friends. When they're not around. When they're not around.
Wow. Like, okay, here's the thing, right, guys? I love music. I really do. And that last note that ended on there, somebody did a minor note. Oh, that was Mario?
Yeah, that was
okay, that was
that was
nice. Yeah, man, you guys can be seated now. So I'm excited. Sorry, I need to recollect my thoughts real quick. And I hope that you who are viewing, so far you have been inspired by what they've been saying and what they've been singing. Some of them said they didn't want to be preachers, but they don't even realize that just the mere conversation that we're having right now and the lives that they're living, it's them preaching regardless. I'm so glad to have them here. And if you're just joining us, this is the group, Emeralds, and they're here with us this evening, and we're talking about what it's like being in a group that's known and and singing being their ministry. If you can, just go ahead and remember to share the link with your friend who probably needs to hear what they're saying here with us this evening. The song that they just sang, don't be talking about friends when they're not around. It's interesting. Are you guys friends? Would you say that you're friends?
We're brothers.
We're family, actually.
We're family.
If you would have heard, Shane said, Miguel being his cousin, singing. A lot of people don't know this. That is an actual fact that Mario and I are actually cousins.
Yes. Hey,
Oh.
Yeah, Mario and I are actually cousins. We actually found that out after claiming each other as cousins.
Yeah.
And
ironically.
Wow.
the previous members were cousins. Jeff
Is that
and
the other
Mario.
Travis? Oh, I thought it was the other Travis.
Jeff and Mario were cousins as well. So it's really a family affair.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Brothers. Did Chadwick just say, accept me?
It's just to be everyone else.
We accept him.
Don't be left out.
All right. So you're brothers. I really like that. I want to kind of go into another question here for you guys. Now, we mentioned before that there are pressures that are coming from other people and expectations. I want to know from you guys if, because of these, the things that come with being a part of a group like this, have you faced any mental health issues, or maybe you've faced mental health issues outside of the group situation, and maybe the group has helped you deal with that? I want to kind of hear from you guys on that. I kind of want to hear from Miguel and Shane. I haven't heard from them in a while. They did mention at the beginning that they're both shy, but today we're going to have them talking to us. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from everybody, really, but I definitely want to hear from the both of you. Who wants to go first on this?
Shane?
That's where there's it. Miguel, you take the...
I
Go
can
ahead.
go while they collect their
Well,
thoughts.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
great.
'cause
So let's
mine
hear
is
from
fresh off the
Mario
top of my
until...
head.
All right, go ahead.
When I just joined the group, I had a lot going on with myself internally, right? It had nothing really to do with anybody around me. It had everything to do with just introspection and my standing where God is concerned. I was in a state where I was very conscious that I was straying, and with all my best efforts to steer myself back on the right path, I just couldn't do it. I was hitched in a position where, I don't know, I had all the right intentions, but later on I would have found out that the route that I was taking is not the correct route. And it started affecting my involvement in the ministry. I started slacking off. Chad, that was before you came on the scene. I started slacking off where attending rehearsals was concerned. And I said, Travis looking at me. Because he's now connecting the dots. But yeah, what I really appreciate with the ministry, with the guys, they are not quick to be judgmental. Right? There's a thing called tough love, you see? And Travis is laughing. Yeah. He knows what that is. Travis would say to me, yo, mighty, nah, come and race and boom, boom, boof, back, back, kick and thump. And then we're good again, you know? Yes. And then what I appreciated most is when them dry up, you know, tell if you pull up your socks, then they listen. Yes. And I really appreciate, I don't think he sees this coming, but Shane is really a good listener. Trust me. Shane, everybody else might be there and them hurl all of them thoughts or whatever. Right. And Shane would be there and say, yo, we understand what Maria say. I understand what Maria say. You understand? And I really appreciate that about the guys. They are really understanding and they encourage you. So I have been in a mental health position. I was at a point where I fell asleep at my work gate. Yeah, I went there for a night shift and I fell asleep at the work gate on the floor outside.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the state I was at.
Wow.
Tragic. But the guys are very understanding. And, you know, it's not a case where they would tell you that, all right, fine, take a break from the group, man, and you sort out yourself. No. They are staying with you along the way until you get yourself fixed. You know? And that is why I cannot stop ministering with these guys. Yeah. Because, you know, singing is one thing.
Right.
But when you have a connection with all the persons you're singing with, it ceases to be just me singing baritone and Travis singing tenor. And, you know, you feel like you're one. And then that's where the Holy Spirit uses all five of us as one vessel through which he spreads his words. Yeah. And so that family aspect, it really helped me during my mental breakdown. couldn't find the answers at all. And they were there. And most of all, God was there.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks. I really appreciate you sharing that, Mario. And it just kind of strengthens the point. I mean, we were joking about it before, you guys being family. Yeah. But from what you're saying, I'm getting the idea that it really is a family sensation happening here. I really appreciate you sharing. Who wants to take that next? Travis, go right ahead.
So I was there listening to Mario, and honestly, I was really trying not to cry. I can resonate with what Mario said personally because, as I said, Mario and I are cousins. Mm-hmm. So while Mario might not readily share some of the things he is going through or has gone through with the guys, I'm the first one he's going to say, yo, cuz.
Right.
Right? So a lot of the times when the guys were upset at Mario not coming to practice, I would have known why. Mm. And I know Mario has been through a lot. He knows. For some strange reason, Mario and I often go through the same things in life at the same time and end up helping each other out.
Oh, wow.
For example, I want to share this. I recently was diagnosed with scoliosis. Mm-hmm. And I want to share it. And
you can go ahead.
I said to Travis, right after the bat, Travis, say, I just get diagnosed with this. And Travis is like, I have that too,
Oh,
I
wow.
say, what?
And you didn't know that before?
And I did not know that before. Wow. So, we relate a lot, on certain terms together. And I'm sure the other guys have their... So even though we have that one person separately in the group,
right,
where it's not a case where we are separated in any way.
I get you.
There is still that connection.
Yeah. Travis, you were finished with your point?
So as far as mental health goes for me, I would have shared it on my previous, appearance here.
Right.
I do suffer from depression and anxiety, and honestly, the group has helped me a lot with that, because there are days when I just want to be done with everything, but for some strange reason, Leslie, I cannot be done with singing with these guys.
Yeah.
I have gotten to the point where I'm saying, yo, this is my last rehearsal. I'm done.
Right.
And I would go to work, rehearsal time would come, and I feel so lost. I end up at rehearsal until I became the group leader. And honestly, as Shane would have said, the messages in the songs that we choose to sing, not only do we hope that they leave an indelible mark on the hearts of the persons who are hearing them, but I often tell them, I'm not singing a song if it means nothing to me. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Because I cannot emit the emotions the song needs if I'm not feeling it. Right? So the ministry in and of itself has done a lot for me mentally. It has kept me strong because, as I said, a lot of things that I go through, I'm not a talker as it relates to my feelings with the guys. I'm not one. I'm always the one who is ready to listen and help. And many of my friends can attest to this. So I do suffer mentally because I suppress things a lot.
Right.
But being here with the guys, I remember when the group was on break, ask Mario, I was dying. Because I had no form of just releasing the stress.
It's an outlet as well.
Yeah. You understand? So singing with the guys and really
the group was on a
relaxes
break
me and
because
stuff.
of me.
Yeah. So the group was on a break because of me. So
enough.
I was upset with Mario because of that, but at the end of the day, he was the one who had to say, "Oh, I miss singing." I remember when we got to the point where we were like, "Oh boy, COVID, and the group is just gonna diminish. It's just gonna go." And honestly, I was hurt.
Yeah.
And I told the guys, "Listen, not under my watch. Why is it that as soon as I became the group leader, this is not happening? No. So we're gonna have we tried Zoom rehearsals. Messy, because you know the delay and stuff.
Yeah.
But then we said, yo, we have a place of our own, which is East Jamaica Conference. So I want to say a big shout out to the persons here at East Jamaica Conference for allowing us to have our rehearsals here, to allowing this ministry to keep going. and for allowing me to still have my outlet
Yeah.
to, deal with my mental issues.
Right there, right on that point, I just want to say to those who are watching, you're a part of the church. Remember that we're here to support each other. Like you made that point about, thanking EJC for allowing you to practice here. Sometimes we don't know how something as simple as practice is making a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah.
And so as a church, let's be reminded at this point that it's not just about saying hi, but it's actually being there and aiding each other in this continuous walk. Because life is a struggle. Life is a struggle, and we're just here to aid each other. Let's hear from Miguel and Shane, and then we'll go to our break after that. Shane, go right ahead.
Well, for me, I'm not really a person that suffers with mental health like that. I'm normally, sometimes I ask me, like, Shane, something wrong with you? Why you're not angry? Yeah, Yeah, but I'm the person that...
Shane does not have emotions.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shane is never sick. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Wow. So, okay, is it that your personality just allows you to just be cool and you don't let things bother you?
Yeah. I don't really...
It annoys us. Because when the rest of us are worked up over stuff,
Right.
Shane is just there like...
calm.
Yeah.
And I think that's something else that contributes to his listening skills. 'Cause, he will listen to you. Yeah.
I'll be the person to attack the problem, like solve the problem, whatever problem that is in the group.
Right.
Until I go to Mario or text WhatsApp him or Travis or Miguel. 'Cause a lot of time Miguel is depressed. I said Miguel remember the number one goal for the group. You can't just leave the group like that.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of times helping Miguel.
So Shane is the counselor of the group.
Yeah.
You can say that.
All right.
Can I add something real quick?
Go ahead.
I heard Shane mention about attacking the problem. I remember one day we had
All right, everybody's laughing. This sounds interesting.
I remember one day we had practice here, and we were practicing the song, but Shane wasn't getting enough from me. And honestly, I wasn't giving my best at the moment, and Shane made note of it, and he mentioned it to me a lot of times, and it sort of got to me, and I was like, Shane, leave me alone.
No. Tell them what you said.
Tell
them what you said.
Let's work with.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
Let's work with it.
But then I realized it's just who Shane is.
Right.
If Shane sees a problem, he's going to address it because he wants us all to be better persons. And yes, that is Shane. That is Shane for you, basically.
All right. I see you, Shane. Counselor Shane.
Coming from somebody who didn't, wasn't in the singing thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
the irony. Yeah.
the irony. Go ahead, Miguel.
Well, for me, I am kind of the disciplinarian in the group.
The serious guy.
Yes, the
The
serious
spiritual counselor, Miguel.
Okay.
Yes, if we minister somewhere and something happens that really annoys me, my brothers can be assured that
Listen,
when they reach home,
typing for half an hour.
Yeah, man.
You will see Miguel is typing
WhatsApp.
for half an hour. And don't you dare avoid or ignore that message when it is sent.
Okay.
As much as I'm the group leader,
Yeah,
Miguel will rub me out.
Okay. All right. Noted.
yeah, so I'm the one to address the situations that I like and I don't like, and I will congratulate them if they do well.
True.
For me, as Shane said before, I get depressed a lot of times, probably like Travis or even more than Travis. And just like Travis, I'm not the one to speak about it. I'll just keep it in. And a lot of times, I'm not in the frame of mind to go to rehearsal. But the thing about being one of the founders of the group, that's pressuring.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have to bear that in mind and know that I have to be an example. And with the efforts that these guys put in, sometimes even though I want to just call it quits, I say, you know what? I really see them putting out the effort, and this is a ministry, as you know, and we want to continue to win souls for Christ. And our fans also encourage us to continue doing what we are doing because it's such a blessing to them.
Yeah. You know, I'm listening to you guys, and I don't know, I'm really amazed by what you guys are saying. Because, you know, you stand on the outside, and you see a group of young men singing, and they sing well, and they look good, and they dress nice, and you think, oh, everything good, I'm good. Like, they're fine, you know? But then you actually sit and talk, and one of the things I want to say right here as well is, a lot of you mentioned that you don't talk. You don't necessarily talk about, you know, things that you're feeling.
I talk.
Mario talks.
Yeah, I talk.
All right. I like that. But a lot of young men don't, you know, not just with you guys sitting here, but a lot of young men in general, they don't necessarily talk about how they feel. And that's why you guys being in this group is so essential, because they're able to use this as an outlet. Even though they may not be speaking, they're able to come together as brothers, sing. I've seen them laughing and joking. Yeah, man. And I know that that also helps you guys in your ministry. Is there something you want to say right there? No? Okay. Yeah, and so I just want to make the point that if there's a young man who is watching, you may not be a part of a singing group, but you're not expressing your feelings verbally. You're not talking about it. Find something that you like to do. Find something that you can use as an outlet, whether it's sports or music or whatever it is for you. Don't sit and hold it all in without some way to let it out. We're going to have another pause at this time, as we hear from Emeralds one more time as they sing this song for us.
There's a peace in your will, that's my strength when I'm with you. I just can't stop getting closer to you. Closer. When my mind now renewed and conformed to the image of you, there's a peace burning deep in my soul. My spirit bears a witness that I'm a child of the King, and I'm sorry, can't walk the way I used to. Say the things I used to do, I just can't do them no more. I just can't do them no more. There's a peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. running deep in my soul. There's a peace running deep in my soul. There's a peace running deep in my soul. There's a peace.
Wow. 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 Like I'm looking for the other words that are supposed to come with that. There's a peace in my soul when I'm with you. I've heard that song done very differently before. Did you guys arrange that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Amen.
And it's not even just about the harmonies, because they're great. Listen, trust me, they're great. But it's the words and the way that is done. And you know, coming from the conversation that we're just having, I'm happy that you guys are here singing. I just want to say that really quickly. I'm happy that you guys are here just being a part of this ministry and allowing God to use you. And it's so key to just mention right here that even when we're going through our difficulties, even when we're dealing with a myriad of things that people may not even know, it's so essential to be in the space that God is. Wow, guys. I just want to go right into my other question because I can't really talk for much longer. I just want to ask, and you know, based on that specific song, how has your spiritual life been impacted? Or even the reverse, how has your spiritual life impacted your ministry? I've heard some mentions of it here and there, but I want to know, how has your spiritual life been impacted from before you were in Emeralds to know that you are in Emeralds? Miguel, go ahead.
Well, for me, I've been in Emeralds from the start, so.
Yeah.
But the ministry helps to keep us in line.
Right.
Yes, it does. Because, as you know, a lot of persons know us and we don't know them all around.
Right.
So we have to ensure that we walk in and talking straight.
Right.
Because, as Travis said before, persons are very critical of Seventh-day Adventists.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps us when we feel like we want to go astray or fall off track. Yes.
That makes sense. Travis, I see that you're ready to go ahead.
I'm just going back to what I said before about choosing songs that mean something to me.
Mm-hmm.
This song means everything to me because, as the words would have said, there's a peace in my soul whenever I am with God, whenever I'm with these guys ministering, right? Emeralds has helped me spiritually because, trust me, sometimes you just want to go left.
Yeah.
You really do as a young person. But the guys really help to keep me in check, especially Miguel. Miguel will see me post something on my status or do something and he messages me. You know, he doesn't do like other persons and throw some shade by making a next post, hoping that I see it. Miguel comes in my inbox and says, Travis, take it down. Just take it down.
Yeah.
And Miguel would have known by now, I'm not going to just take it down. Tell me why. And I'm not being disrespectful when I ask you to explain to me. I want to see what is it that others might be seeing.
Yeah.
The perspective that they are coming from, right? So there's always a discussion, and at the end of the day, Miguel's going to make a good point. He's going to draw for some biblical reference, and, I'm going to just have to concede.
Take it down, right?
'Cause it's going to have to come down, right? So in terms of spiritual-wise, the group has helped me to grow. I mean, not that I was less spiritual before the group, but, I have persons to share that with intimately.
Right, right.
And that is very powerful, because a lot of the times our spiritual walk is very hard because we're going at it alone.
Yes.
So to have persons, and not just anybody, just because, I mean, we have Sabbath school class, we have AYs, where we mix and mingle, but to have that immediate group of persons to really rely on is really a blessing.
Wow, love that, love that. Mario, you want to just comment on that really quickly?
All right. Your question was, how has the music ministry impacted my spiritual life?
Right.
Well, I kind of want to flip that a bit. I just want to say that my spiritual life has basically impacted my music ministry. My spiritual life has helped me to add perspective, it has helped me to connect some dots. My personal spiritual life has shown me how pertinent my music ministry is, right? And by that, I find that I put more meaning to my music ministry. So there's a purpose to it. It's no longer just singing. But by virtue of that spiritual connection that I have with myself and God, then I can in turn deliver in music ministry.
Right.
So it has impacted greatly on my spiritual life, has impacted my music ministry greatly.
All right, let's hear from the other guys.
So for me, since joining the group, I had a few struggles. Initially, when I just joined the group, first being there were a lot of persons that had this stereotype or the stigma attached to the group. And upon them discovering that I had joined, they were like, why you join Emeralds? You, literally. Those were some of the comments from even friends. And I found myself coming to practice without even telling my parents or anything. I just showed up. The guys asked me about it. I was like, yeah, man, everything's fine. But what they helped me to do is that I'm a very shy person. I've said this before. And upon joining the group, they told me, hey, you're going to be leading stuff more. You're going to be doing a lot more. And they have helped me. I was doing solos before, but being with the guys have helped me to further explore my talent and take the center stage and even sing by myself. And they have helped me spiritually because I find myself, at home looking for songs first to sing. And I normally don't do that. Normally, as I said, YouTube or something, playing Call of Duty or, But since joining the group, I have been more spiritually attached to the ministry. And I would like to thank them, first of all, for allowing me to be a part of this ministry. It's a great thing and has been a great contribution to my life, spiritually, even physically. One more thing is that coming to practice has proven difficult for me because I live in Woodford, very in the hills, far away. And since COVID came about, there have been challenges where I have to be splitting, multitasking with my responsibilities at church and with the group. So sometimes I miss practice. This is probably my first time here with the group, even though I've been in the group for over a year, I think, right?
Oh, okay.
So it has been challenging otherwise. But I'm learning to handle it better. Thankfully, the guys are here to support me whatever way. If I am slipping up, Kyle, the manager, will be there to, and Travis to remind me. So, yes, that's basically it for me.
Okay, all right. Shane, let's hear from you. How has your spiritual life been impacted by the ministry, or vice versa? How has the ministry impacted your spiritual life?
Well, the ministry has impacted me. I become more closer to God. Because, as you know, in today's society, you have young men out there partying, doing what they're not supposed to. So being in the group, it felt me, it keep me in the church.
Right.
Yeah, and being in the church did it to help others, bring others closer to God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in a nutshell.
All right. It has been such a pleasure having these young men here with me this evening. That point right after the song, I was a tad bit on the emotional side, and I've heard so much from them that I think even if some of us may not be in singing groups, or we may not be the face of a group or whatever it is, there are things that they said that we could relate to. By the mere virtue of being Adventist, there's so many things that were said that I know viewers can relate to. And I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us. And I hope that somebody who is watching was edified or was blessed by something that was said by one of us right here this evening. Thank you for always being here with us at Mind Your Health. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next week, remember to mind your health.
I've got trials and tribulation. I've been built and I've been scorned. I'm hoping soon my trials will be over. Somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head. Oh, when this somewhere in my head is all somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere, somewhere, I want somewhere, Lord, oh Lord, sing it, Lord, hallelujah, oh Lord, hallelujah, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, running to him, somewhere in my head, she had the devil in my head, in her eyes, somewhere in my head, she said, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, why don't you somewhere in my head, you're gonna die. But Job looked at the woman in my head, to the sky, somewhere in my head, you're so foolish, you don't sound like my wife, somewhere in my head, I want somewhere, oh yeah, somewhere, I want somewhere, Lord, hallelujah, oh Lord, hallelujah, Lord, hallelujah, oh Lord, hallelujah, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head. Trials are done on every hand. Somewhere in my head, cannot understand all the way. Somewhere in my head, 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 I want somewhere, somewhere, I want somewhere, Lord, oh Lord, Lord, oh Lord, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head. I said trials are done on every hand. Somewhere in my head, cannot understand all the way. Somewhere in my head, somewhere in my promise. Somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head. I want somewhere in my head. I want somewhere, somewhere. I want somewhere, Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, said amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I once was lost, but now I'm found, because you saved the wretch, a wretch like me. I once was blind, but now I see. Sing it, Lord, 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 Lord. Ayo, 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 ayo. ayo, 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 somewhere in my head, somewhere in my head.
Celebrate the dawning of the Sabbath with us tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. sharp as we bring to you Youth Mission Live. Brandon Daly and the dynamic team awaits you. It's 7:30 p.m. right here on the EJC Virtual Church.